when the path was kind of laid out, and I ended up going undrafted, and so that
Yep.
was like unexpected. I was going to school at an HBCU here at Langston University, and I went down there. I'm working out. She told me
Oh,
not to
wow.
go in because I was curious, like, what's it like having a professor? And
Yep.
you're a journalist
Yeah.
major. I'm in there raising my hand, like, this is not your class. But I was around some really good energy that kind of like made me tap in, and grateful energy where I'm
Yeah.
just like working out and seeing the things that are like bigger and in some ways, just different. I get the call to come to training camp in San Antonio. And then my whole time
Okay.
I was like, oh, Sandora done put in a word. And like, but I was just like, but she didn't. She was like, girl, they came to me about you. That was all on your own. And I was like, I've held that for like 15 years and I was grateful. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, let me get a little big headed for a second,
Listen, might
not
as
big
well
headed, but
pop it.
like, I'm like, wow, that was me.
Of
That was my
course.
route. So I went into camp, and it was a really good training camp, and this is at the time we ended up winning the Western Conference Championship. Like we had Becky Hammond and Vicki Johnson and Helen Darling, Ruth Riley, Ann Waters. So
You had
when
number
I
stars
came
on that
in,
team.
yeah, like it was so fire. Like just being in the proximity, those huddles were powerful.
I'm sure.
But I was balling. And then we played at a neutral site in Detroit, and we played at Lubbock, and they have
All
this
the families,
line
yeah.
like going down, and I'm just like, there's no cameras, there's no one, like no lurking capitalist to be like, hey, here's some value just off of
Yep.
that
Yep.
alone. But now you get to experience it genuinely, and if it went the other way, then that's the way it was meant to go, but this is the way that it went. And so, like, kind of coming into that experience, coming into a training camp where they really didn't have room for the roster, even Edwidge Lawson, she was on the team as well. And so I was a point guard, and I made it really hard for them to, like, I don't think I was supposed to make the team, but I was like, shouldn't me.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
I ended up making the team and like coming back on and off. And it was just like such a flip flop and journey. But I was
Yeah.
also so present to where even when we're playing like Seattle, and at the time Cheryl's there, I'm just like, I'm really on the court. Like it was just different, experience.
Uh-huh.
Like super grateful,
Yeah.
even having it on my resume going overseas. I was just like, oh, okay, that's going to earn me a couple more
Exactly.
coins per month. And
Yeah.
that's going to set the bar too for a standard for being a pro. Now that I've kind of transitioned into being a stylist and entrepreneur, kind of like the bar is set if I didn't have those
Yeah.
experiences and stuff. So
Absolutely. Because obviously when you're playing in the W at that time, and still a little bit now, like you didn't have Unrivaled. You didn't have, Athletes Unlimited to play in these kind of other leagues from the WNBA season. So what was your experience from getting on that plane to making up